Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making a special video. I have been tagged to do the flight attendant tag video, and I was tagged by the French chef's family. She is a flight attendant vlogger and also they are chefs, I guess, in their family. So she tagged me to do this video, and so I am doing it for you. It's a series of 10 questions. I wrote them down. That's why I'm looking down there. So I wrote them down so that I won't forget what tags. This was an original video that was created by Wonderfully Allie. And so she's the one that created the tag, and then so now everybody's being tagged on it, and so I guess I'm next. So welcome back, and let's get started. Question number 1 is, where are you based? So if you guys don't know, I am currently going through flight attendant training at this time. I have been a flight attendant previously before starting this company, and I used to be a flight attendant about 13, 14 years ago as well. But as of right now, my home base will remain Las Vegas. This is where I currently live, and I have been lucky enough that my new company has a base there, and so I don't have to commute. Okay, question number 2 is, what is your favorite city to layover and why? I haven't really laid over in a lot of cities recently. My previous charter company that I worked for a long time ago, I used to do a lot of international flying, and I think one of my most favorite places was in Bogota, Colombia, because it reminded me so much of home. My original place of birth is Puerto Rico. And so anywhere that I hear salsa or merengue or, there's good cuisine, I love it. So I had a really great time going to Colombia. Although I had never seen people like in front of buildings with, what do you call those? The big guns. Those. Machine guns. I've never seen people with machine guns out in the streets. So yeah. Okay. Question number 3 is, how long have I been a flight attendant? Well, the first time I was a flight attendant a little over a year, and right before coming to this company, I was a flight attendant for Allegiant for, I think I was there for about 7-8 months maybe. I'm saying more towards 7 months. So yeah, I had just passed my 6-month probation when I decided I wanted to go in a different direction. So that's why I'm here now. Question number 4 is, what is my biggest pet peeve? Well, to be honest with you guys, I'm pretty chill, laid back, if you haven't gathered from my videos. So flying on board, I think for me, I love interacting with people, and one of the things that really bothers me is when I am looking at someone in the eye and I say good morning, or I say how's it going, or how are you doing, or I direct a question to someone and they just completely ignore me and don't even acknowledge my presence. It's like, at least look up and say hello. We don't have to have a full conversation. So that's one of the things that I find disrespectful. Let's see. Oh, another one. I just thought of another one. Okay, so one of my biggest pet peeves flying is when we are ready to board to head out and people have to use the lavatories. Now, what's happened between all those, people have to check into the airport at what, an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes to, get through ticketing and TSA and all that good stuff. So what's preventing them from using the actual bathrooms in the airport? they're so much roomier and beautiful and kept up, and they don't smell disgusting. No, they don't go in that. They don't go in the terminal bathroom. They wait until they get to the airplane, and then they go to the bathroom before we even take off. Like, what is that? I can understand you gotta go to the bathroom when we've been in flight and you've had some drinks or food or whatever, and you know you have to go, but like immediately when you board, you go to the bathroom. I don't understand that one. Number 5 is, what is my favorite thing about being a flight attendant? For me, okay, so let me give you a little backstory. My parents divorced when I was super young. I was about 7 years old when my parents divorced, which means that I was constantly going from one house to the other, back to the other, back to the other. So like every other year or every year, sometimes in the middle of the year, we would move. It was, you know, that's just what, you know, my life was. So I never really, like, I think I counted once how many schools I actually went through from kindergarten all the way to high school. And I think I counted like 12 or 13. I'm not going to try to, you know, think about all the schools I went to right now. But yeah, I went to about 12 or 13 different schools by the time I graduated to high school. So I've never felt like I have like a home base. Vegas actually has been the longest place I have ever been to and stayed at anywhere in time. I have always traveled. I've always, you know, so I've always been independent that way. I've even lived in Europe for a little bit. So, yeah, I'm an adventurer, and so that's what calls out to me. My favorite thing about being a flight attendant is the fact that I can go anywhere at any time. I just need the time to do it and a little bit of money. Okay, question number 6 is, what did I do before becoming a flight attendant? Well, right before starting here, I was a flight attendant, but before that, well, I was a retail sales manager, and so I was the manager. I had teams of 2 to 3 supervisors at a time, and then all my employees. So I'm used to being in management roles and taking charge and making sure things are ran appropriately, and so all that good stuff. So that's what I used to do, is retail, and I couldn't wait to get out of there, guys. If you've ever worked retail, or I've heard fast food is also another profession that people just like. If you can work in a fast food environment, you can work anywhere, because the way people treat employees that work at fast foods or retail is just, you know, not nice. So if you can deal with that, you can deal with anything. Number 7 is, what made me decide to become a flight attendant. So another little backstory, guys. My grandfather fought in World War II and also in the Korean War, and he was a pilot for the Army. And so we would always get together, like at Christmas and summer, and you know, do family things together. And my grandpa would always like tell stories, and he was a storyteller, and so he inspired many people in my family. I have a lot of people in aviation, a lot of pilots, and a lot of flight attendants as well. So I'm not the only one. My sister is actually a flight attendant as well. And so, and I have other cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff that are also in the industry. So it's just, I guess, in my blood. It's always something that I think, if you take my love of, like, you know, being a nomad and just being all over the place, and also my love for flying for inexpensive wise, then you know, this is the right career for me. It's not for everybody. It's a lifestyle. It's a different lifestyle, and so it's not for everybody. But it's definitely what I want to do. until I retire, and then after I retire, I just want to travel some more. So that's what I want to do. All right, so number 8 is, what is the one product I must have with me during my layovers? I haven't had any layovers in a really long time. So right now, what's helping me to be away from my home, which is Vegas at the moment, is I gotta have a battery, a spare battery, a charger, and all that good stuff for my phone. Because if you guys know, my phone dies all the time. I'm getting a brand new one when I get back to Vegas. Another thing that I have with me all the time, and this will attest to the fact that even though I'm white, I am Puerto Rican. It's my Vicks. I love my Vicks. Usually just put some on at the end of the night. It keeps my lips nice and moisturized, and you know, if I feel stuffy, I'll put it right here. So Vicks for me, it's like a comfort. I love the smell, just to even smell it. So that's that. I know that's a little weird, guys, but if you're Hispanic or Latin, or, you know, if you come from a Hispanic background, you'll probably understand what I'm talking about when I say Vicks. And of course, if I can't have any makeup at all, the one thing that I will have with me is a lipstick. Because even right now, I have nothing on except my lips. I did try on a little bit of the new mascara that I just bought. But if I have absolutely nothing at all, I will always have a lipstick, because I don't know, it just makes me feel good to have my lips done. When I don't have lipstick on, it feels like I have no lips. They're so the same color of my skin. It just looks like there's nothing there. So that is, as far as makeup, that is my one item that I must have. And for comfort, my Vicks. And for technology, all of my batteries for my phone. Number 9 is, what is the most challenging thing about being a flight attendant? Honestly, this is 100% true, guys. When you work in a different industry where things are really, when customers treat you not so good, being a flight attendant is easy peasy. You're really there for customer safety. And in the event of an emergency, everyone is going to be looking at you to help them out. So that is a little bit stressful, knowing that, you know, you have so much responsibility. But the hardest part about being a flight attendant is getting the job, guys. Getting the job is the hardest thing. There's so much competition for people wanting to be flight attendants that, you know, once your foot is in the door, then things become a little bit easier. But getting the job is the hardest thing about being a flight attendant. We get in the air, and if there's no accidents, no incidents, no medicals, no nothing, they're paying me to just serve people a couple of drinks and snacks, stay in beautiful hotels, and, you know, go to different cities all the time, and they're paying me to do that. What's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. And number 10 is, what is the best advice I can give to either new hires or to people that are aspiring to be flight attendants? I've said this before, guys. Being a flight attendant is a whole different animal. It's a different lifestyle. And so some people think that you're on a permanent vacation, and it's similar to that, but there is a lot of work to it. But other than that, be persistent. Don't take no for an answer. And apply, guys. If you apply, you know, think about, okay, so let me just say this. The industry that we work in is based on seniority. And so you really want to apply to a company that you kind of would like to work for. Because if you, let's take my example. Okay, so I was with Allegiant. There's nothing absolutely wrong with Allegiant except for that they only do turns, which means I flew to many different cities and places all the time, but I always came back home and I was always in my bed at the end of the night, which I don't really want to do. I want to travel and I want to stay in different cities. So that for me was a negative. For people that want to be home to their children or to their husbands or wives or whatever, you know, that would be a benefit. So my advice would be for you guys, if you're starting to look at companies, is to look at what the company offers. And so make sure that it aligns with what you are looking for. And don't take no for an answer. And remember, there's more than one company out there. I know that most people want legacy airlines. You know, everyone wants to work for American, for United, or for Delta. But you guys have to remember that, first of all, the competition for those legacy airlines are, if you think it's hard to get into the airline industry, it's like 10 times harder to get into those companies. And so, you know, think about the other smaller carriers. There is absolutely nothing wrong with going with a mainline carrier or with a regional carrier or, you know, with a charter company. There are so many options out there for people that do want to become flight attendants. So don't give up. Follow your dreams, and at one point or another, it will happen to you guys. And if you can't get in through the door as a flight attendant, try getting into the company as a customer service agent or doing, you know, reservations or something in a different department just to get your foot into the door. And then it may become easier for you to get an interview to become a flight attendant. So those are my answers. Again, thank you for the French Chef's family for tagging me to do this video. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in each and every single time I post a video. And thank you so very much for subscribing. I definitely appreciate it. I love each and every single one of you. Big hugs and kisses from my house to your house. And I will catch you guys on the next one.